Hey guys, it's me, Collision Course 101, back here with another YouTube Warframe video here. Today I'm going to be looking at Nidus. He's a pretty fun frame, probably one of my favorite frames. I did not actually expect to like him this much. This is my Nidus here. It's pretty simple, pretty straightforward, and let's just jump right into the build, and then I'll show you what all the abilities do, because I know like some people are just here for the build, and that's perfectly fine. This is my build. It's very high in duration, range, and strength. Try to get efficiency up as well if you can. So it's a very well-rounded build. But this is a zero Forma build. However, if you do wish to add Forma, I would recommend you add a dash polarity for prime flow, so you can fit an Exilus mod in there. And if you want to, change the aura polarity for corrosive protection and energy siphon. Now let's just go over why I added all the mods here. Steel charge, because I think it's just probably just, it's just easier. Because I was using basically just the secure elected just so I get credits while I was farming experience, so I don't really care. But continuities for his ultimate and his 2 to last longer. Natural talents, obviously for improved casting. Streamline, so you can spam your 1. Vitality, because he does not have a shield. He's full health based like a Naros, so that gives you quite a bit. Gives you quite a bit of health. I actually have 0 shield on him, so the rate that you get full use of your rage, plus you have passive healing, plus you heal when you're on the infested ground, so you don't really need armor at all. Maybe like in some high level missions you can add an armor, but it's not really necessary. Prime flow, this is probably the last mod I added on, just at the end. It was just a flow, just so I had enough energy, just so I had a lot of energy for some higher up missions, so I could spam my 1 even better. Stretch for more range, and intensify for more damage. Now I've seen people use blind rage, which is plus strength minus efficiency. I don't actually have a blind rage. And overextended, but personally I like the strength. I think the strength is just really helpful. Now, basically Nidus is very unique in the sense that he gains stacks based on your abilities. Let's do a quick run down of his abilities right here. His 1 is a stomp, and that actually stretches like way longer than this thing. Like with my build, it goes pretty far. Well, it's not way longer, but it goes a little bit longer than that. It's just a stomp, and this damages enemies, and any enemies hit will give you a little stack, which you can see right there in the right corner of the screen. 5 enemies hit is 1 stack, and when you get 10, you gain your passive, which basically, if you die, if you hit 0 health, you are invulnerable for, I think it's 5 seconds, and you come back with 50% health, and it consumes 10 stacks. Your readiness indicator is your frame will open up, which I will show you in a minute. Your 2 is also very straightforward. It's that sucks in enemies. Here, let me actually spawn some enemies so it's pretty easy to see. Let me just simulate. Just pop. And it goes as far as long as you have line of sight, it can go. So basically, you want to combo these. You want to combo these abilities together. You want to use your 2 to group a bunch of enemies up, and then use your 1 to just hit all of them. And don't be afraid, don't be like concerned if your 1 doesn't one-shot them, because it gets stronger the more stacks you have. So at lower level it's actually probably better if they don't one-shot them, so you can gain more stacks off this. So you see that's not a lot of stacks for the enemies, but this does rack up, especially like when you get big groups of enemies, just big clusters. These will just rack up really well. But now I have enough that I can actually show you his other abilities, and then I'll show you what he looks like with his passive active. So I've spawned a few more enemies here. Okay, now I'll show you what his 3 does. I built a few more stacks. I actually did not know what his 3 did. Basically, it links you to an enemy, and any damage that you take will actually be transferred. 50% of it will be transferred to this enemy for as long as this thing lasts. And you can't stack him or anything. You can't actually damage him in any real way. He's just kind of stuck like this. But you can also link this to allies, and I believe it does reduce damage. Well, actually, it's not a set amount of damage, it's based on your power strength. I should mention that. Mine does, I think, 48% of any damage dealt to me will go onto this enemy instead. But this also works on your allies, and instead of damaging them when you get damaged, it buffs their damage, and this always buffs your damage, no matter what. So if it's linked on an enemy or an ally, it buffs your damage. And if you walk out of the range, it does stop working. But it does? I did not realize that it actually does kind of damage them quite a bit. And one thing I forgot to mention about your first ability is that the more enemies are in it, the more energy you gain back from it. So here, let me just spawn in some more dudes here. Here, actually, I'm gonna spawn in butchers so they just run at me. Much easier. Actually, let me get all these guys clustered up. But you notice that's refunded a lot of energy. So let's see, 2 guys doesn't refund as much energy. I think it's 5 per enemy. I'm not sure. It might scale power strength. I'm not entirely sure. I haven't tested that much. But it does give you, if you have, from what my friend has said, who actually spams his this ability quite a bit more than I do, he has said that if you have about 5 enemies, you should actually have the same amount of energy returned to you that was spent. So that's pretty useful. Now to show you his ultimate ability. Wait, no, this, remove this. Okay, now it's time to show you Nidus' ultimate ability. So let's get these guys all clustered up here. Drop that swing coming. First, before we do that. Oh, what the hell? They have range attacks now? Before we do that, this is what Nidus looks like with all 10 stacks. The frame opens up, which is really cool, and then he starts getting a lot more damage. You'll notice that the one hurts a lot more. In fact, it hurts higher level enemies quite a bit. Like, it does. I've gotten mine at 100 stacks without full build. It did 4,000 damage to one enemy. But now, to use your 4th ability, the 4th ability is very interesting. Now, keep in mind this will expend. Mine expends 3 stacks. I'm not sure if it scales up anything. It might just scale off level, which is very possible. But it spawns in this, and I don't know if you can see them anywhere. Oh, here they are. You get your own little custom maggots, and they are the same color as your energy color on them, and so is the grass, by the way. It's your energy color. And they will basically run around and like latch on to enemies and confuse them. So I think I'm going to spawn some more enemies and just let the maggots have their way with them. I'm not going to hit them at all. And this is the reason that you want a lot of duration. Watch it. Look, it actually, I believe it said that it panics enemies as well. Oh yeah, they explode after a short while. I forgot about that. But yeah, it's very effective. I don't think, that does not kill the maggots. They just explode. Doesn't hurt them. They stay. It just explodes. And it's really OP. Let me make sure I got everything. Yeah, okay. Okay, so I just actually read up on the ability, and it does regen your health when you're standing on that, and it appears that the health regen also scales off of your power. What's it called? Strength, power strength. How did I forget power strength? Okay. Now I'm going to spawn in a extremely high level enemy. I'm going to show you what exactly happens when you die, because it's very interesting. I'll just spawn in one Juggernaut at level. Yeah, here. Let's just go max rank. Let's go level 100. One Juggernaut. Come on. Do you really need more than one Juggernaut at level 100? So this is what happens when you die. It's taking a lot longer than I thought it was gonna take. Actually, while am I here? Let me just stack a few more. Oh really? Oh wow. Probably gonna kill him. Okay, so basically you're in this form for 5 seconds and you're completely invulnerable. And you notice in the corner it does expend 10 stacks. So you don't want to die too much. Hopefully you won't die at all, but you always can. It always is a possibility. Now, yeah, that's basically all about Nidus. As far as weapons to bring with him are concerned, I would say definitely bring with someone with Life Strike. Because he is a health-based frame. Just be very mindful of your energy consumption. This is me fighting level, level 100? Yeah, level 100 chargers with ease. Like, not even breaking. So I think I killed all of them. Yeah, and you get a lot of. First of all, it's a very easy stack farm. It's extremely easy to stack up enemies, the higher level they are, because you can hit them more times before they actually die. And then if you use your ultimate, it just becomes even easier, and it's a very powerful frame. Now, so you may want some, you can go with different builds. Remember, my build is just a recommendation. You don't have to copy it exactly. You can do whatever you want, really. I just thought that I would put my build out there because I think it's a good build. I worked on this with a friend who also really loves Nidus, and we both like this build. But you do notice as well, the more stacks, the more damage it is doing. So I'm going to keep stacking, and I will cut the video back when I have 100 stacks. And then we can see the magnificence. Okay, so I have successfully gotten 100 stacks, and you will notice, first of all, that at 100, your little symbol in the corner becomes very interesting. And I don't know what this is. It's not really anything that we can tell so far. A lot of people speculate that this would unlock something behind the infested door. Simply having Nidus does unlock the infested door, and there is something cool in there. But nothing seemed to change if you go back there after having 100 stacks. Now, you notice that I guess like some heavily armored enemies, my one wasn't doing as much damage even at 100 stacks. However, if you have corrosive projection, you put that one Forma on, you should not have that problem at all. So now let's spawn in. I'm gonna spawn the specters. Oh, interesting. Okay. Let's go ahead and spawn. Let's spawn in a 20 level 105 butchers. Since I don't have corrosive projection, I can't really one-shot the heavy gunners. However, if I did have that, I could easily one-shot them. But you notice, even with these less armored enemies, I am one-shotting them. That's 3,900. That's 3,800. Was that 38,000? That might have been 38,000 damage. I will freeze frame it, and I will see exactly how much damage that is, because it is a lot of damage. Now let's spawn in one very high level enemy here. Let's just spawn in the Juggernaut. Spawn in one Juggernaut and just see how much damage I can do with this thing. First off, let me do this. I can link with the Juggernaut, which does not stop the Juggernaut at all. The Juggernaut is not even slightly phased by that. So nothing really stops the Juggernaut right now. I could put my link on one of his minions and make it a little bit easier, but who wants to do that? You'll notice I am doing a lot of damage, and the thing can hit one enemy multiple times. It easily can. He has the marks. He has the black marks on his face from where he was. My link. Pete. Okay, Juggernaut jumped off the map. You get the idea. So like against a normal Juggernaut in a normal mission, you should have no problem. I guess there's higher level enemies. I recommend you put on the one Forma and switch to corrosive projection. Or if you really want more power strength, I think that was either 4,000 or 30. That was either like 3,800 or that was 38,000 damage with 100 stacks. Which, if you're doing like 40-minute survival, you should probably get 100 stacks at some point around 30 minutes if you're stacking pretty well and constantly, especially if you have like a camp farm. They'll all sit in like one hallway and just let them come to you just so you can stack. That'd probably be very helpful for the long run. Yeah. So, but anyway, that is Nidus, and I really like him. He's really cool. He got cool infested stuff. A lot of really cool stuff. Having the infested frame is really interesting. Being able to do this stuff is really fun. Having a bunch of Niduses, each with a different energy color, and all using their 4 in like one general area is very Christmassy. I really enjoy it. It's a very nice aesthetic. It looks amazing. But anyway, I'm Collision Course 101. This has been my Nidus video, and I hope I'll see you guys next time. Boop.